They saw the kindness in you, didn't they? They saw the open door, the warm glow of your heart, inviting, welcoming. So they stepped right in. Oh, they didn't knock. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't treat your heart with the care it deserved. No, they walked right in and made themselves comfortable as if they had every right to be there. They saw your kindness as a weakness, your open heart as an opportunity, a place they could take from, a place they could rest in, a place they could use whenever they felt the chill of their own emptiness. They took and they took until there was almost nothing left. You see, they thought your heart was limitless, a never-ending well of compassion and forgiveness. They thought they could keep coming back, keep taking pieces of you, and keep finding warmth without ever giving anything in return. They thought that your kindness was theirs to use, that your love was theirs to claim, that your heart was theirs to exploit whenever they needed it. And you let them, didn't you? You opened the gates wide because that's who you are. You believed in people, believed in their potential, believed that if you just gave enough, loved enough, they'd see your worth. You let them into your heart, into your life, and you gave without limits. You gave them comfort, gave them understanding, and gave them a safe place to be when the world got too dark. You held their pain, carried their burdens, and gave them everything you had. And they took it all, never once considering what it was costing you. But that's the thing about an open heart. If you're not careful, people will trample it. People like them, they don't see the beauty of it. They don't see the strength it takes to stay open in a world that's full of so much hurt. No, they see it as a weakness, as something they can take advantage of. They don't care about the cost, don't care about what it does to you, don't care that every time they take a piece of you, there's less left for yourself. They only care about what they can get, how much warmth they can steal, how much love they can drain, how much they can take before you finally have nothing left. But one day, you saw it. You saw the truth. You saw that they weren't there because they valued you. They weren't there because they wanted to build something real. They weren't there because they loved you. They were there because you were easy to use, because you were always there, because they knew they could take and take, and you'd still be there, waiting with the gates wide open. And that's when everything changed. That's when you decided that enough was enough. That's when you realized that your heart was worth protecting, that your love was worth more than being treated like a convenience, that your kindness wasn't an endless well for someone else to drain. You realized that the open gates, the endless giving, the constant welcoming was costing you too much. It was leaving you empty, leaving you broken, leaving you with nothing for yourself. So you did something they never saw coming. You closed the gates. You decided that they could no longer come and go as they pleased, that your heart was not a place for them to rest when it was convenient, and that your love was not something they could take for granted. You put up the walls, drew the line, locked the doors, and closed the gates for good. And when you did, they were left outside. They were left with nothing but the cold, nothing but the emptiness they always feared. They came back, didn't they? Tried to come back, tried to find that warmth, tried to push their way in. But the gates were closed, the doors were locked, and you were no longer there, waiting, hoping, giving. They knocked, but there was no answer. They called, but there was only silence. They wanted what they had always taken for granted, but you were unreachable now. And that terrified them, because people like that, they thrive on your openness. They need it. They need someone to take from, need someone to use, need someone who will always be there no matter how many times they take advantage. They need your heart to stay open because it makes them feel less alone, because it makes them feel powerful, because it makes them feel like they matter. But now, with the gates closed, with the walls up, with the silence echoing back at them, they're left to face the truth. They're left to face the fact that they took too much, that they pushed too far, that they lost the one person who was always there for them. They're left to face the emptiness that comes when the warmth is gone, when the door is shut, when the person they took for granted is no longer there. But you're free now, free from the endless taking, free from the constant drain, free from the weight of someone else's needs pulling you down. You're free to protect yourself, free to keep your heart safe, free to choose who gets to come in and who stays out. You're free to love yourself without giving away pieces of yourself to someone who never deserved them in the first place. You see, closing the gates wasn't about shutting out love. It was about protecting it. It was about choosing to value your heart, choosing to see your own worth, choosing to keep your love for those who truly deserve it. It was about understanding that not everyone deserves a place in your heart, that not everyone deserves the warmth you have to give, that not everyone is worthy of the love you offer. And now, they can't reach you. They can't touch you. They can't take from you anymore. The gates are closed. The walls are up. And you are no longer the person who will let them in just because they need a place to hide. You are no longer the person who will give and give until there's nothing left. You are no longer the person who will let someone else's needs come before your own. They took advantage of your open heart, but now the gates are closed, and you are stronger for it. You have learned that your love is is precious, that your kindness is not to be wasted, that your heart is worth protecting. You have learned that real love doesn't take advantage, doesn't drain you, and doesn't make you feel empty. Real love fills you up. Real love gives back. Real love sees your worth and honors it. And that is what you deserve. You deserve love that is equal, love that is real, and love that doesn't take advantage of your kindness. Love that doesn't leave you feeling used and broken. You deserve love that respects your boundaries, love that values your heart, love that doesn't come with strings attached. You deserve love that doesn't leave you standing at the gate, wondering if today the day they'll finally see your worth is. So you closed the gates, you protected your heart, you chose yourself, and now you are unreachable to those who once took you for granted. You are no longer an option, no longer a convenience, no longer someone they can use when it suits them. You are no longer the open door they can walk through whenever they need a place to hide. You are stronger, wiser, and finally free to love yourself the way you always deserve. The gates are closed, the door is locked, and you are finally free. Free from the weight of someone else's expectations, free from the constant taking, free from the endless drain of someone who never truly saw your worth. You are free to be yourself, free to protect your heart, free to choose who gets to be a part of your life. And that is more powerful than anything they ever imagined. The gates are closed, the story is over, and now it's your time to rise, your time to shine, your time to love and be loved without conditions, without games, without someone taking advantage of your open heart. The gates are closed, and you are finally free.